votes. And we have enough
HeartCity
voting power here to change anything that needs to be changed.
Politics, progress, game boards, objects viewed like pawns till we change up our mindset. Value of the dollars at the center of this conflict. Their lives only matter if they serve to make a profit. But if a midget sees further on the shoulders of the giant, then we should see further than the tyrant and build a future within alliance with success is our science in the quest to go higher. It's the heart of the city.
This is HeartCity TV, and I'm your host, Kendall Chase. Welcome home, everyone. Today's show, The Way of the Future. How many times have you been left behind because you just couldn't see that as our future? It's no way Facebook is going to last. It's just for college students. That's crazy. It's no way we're going to have virtual school as a way of life for our young people. They have to learn. It's the only way to learn. Well, today, HeartCity is going to jump right in. We're going to break apart that mental state that we have of being fearful of what the future has for us. And so today's guests, listen, they're powerful, they're impactful. We have Philly's real Wonder Woman, Miss Lucinda Trotter. She has a new reality show that she's producing as executive producer, and it is powerful, powerful. And then we're going to jump right in with the co-founder and owner of TradeTrack, talking about cryptocurrency and FOREX, Bitcoin, and all things in NFTs. I mean, this is an episode that you do not want to miss, because our future is truly, truly important to us. And it is for certain the way that we're going to build generational wealth. And we don't want to leave anyone behind. But before we get started, we're going to begin our episode with prayer like we always do. I'm excited to have HeartCity's favorite pastor. He is our spiritual leader. And we're so grateful, Bishop Stephen Avinger, senior pastor of Greater St. Matthew's Baptist Church, right in Philadelphia. Thank you so much. Welcome home, Bishop.
Hey, good to be here. Really good to
be here. This is the first time we've seen you this year. It's been a blessing.
Yes,
I think the last time we saw you was in April of last year, and missed your face. Nice to see you, sir.
Good to be here, really.
It is good to be here. Sir, with all that you know and all that the Lord has placed in you, can you please go ahead and offer our city a prayer?
I will do that. God, in Jesus' name, we are so grateful to be in this space today. We're grateful because we know it was by your grace, unearned favor that you've allowed this time. And we do pray, God, for this city. So much going on, God, with the virus and with home invasions and gun shootings and homicides. Things have, even as it said in the New Testament, that things are turned upside down, but for the wrong reasons now. And so we pray, God, that you would intervene, that you would lift up a people who would take charge and provide leadership, that we might be able to come out of not only the pandemic of the virus, but the pandemic of hate and distrust and all that we see wrong, not only in our city, but in cities all over the nation and indeed the world. And so raise up your church, God, and people of good heart and mind and soul, they might stand in the gap. Bless this show. We pray, oh God, that every listener that comes on would get exactly what they need. Pray that each of the individuals that's coming on to share from their hearts would share things, God, that would not only enlighten but brighten the day of those who are tuned in. Bless our host. God, give her wisdom beyond her years. Give her understanding. Give her ears to hear that she might be able to be a blessing in the ministry that she provides through this television broadcast. Do it for your glory. We'll be so careful to give you praise in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Oh, Pastor. Now, I don't know if you realize this, but you are the first person since I've been host to refer to this as a ministry. And that just blessed my soul because that is
Amen.
truly how I've entered into this as
Amen.
ministry. You know, the
I
work
see
that
that.
we all do for our community, for our people, for God's people. You know, He does
Yeah.
not want us downtrodden and sad. He doesn't want us
Mm,
without all the things that we need. And when you have
that's right.
access to it, it's our responsibility to share it and make
That's
sure
right.
that all
Absolutely.
have access.
Yeah.
And so
And
that's what Heart City
and
stands for.
amen. And it is ministry.
It is.
And I think if people would see their lives and the things that God allows them to do as ministry, then their approach to it as well as
Hmm.
life would be
Right. Right.
a lot different. We would humble ourselves, right? Because we understand that is a gift from God.
It is truly a gift from God. This week, I've been spending a lot of time in my personal devotions thinking about, just if we could find a way to extend some grace, to
Yeah,
others,
yeah,
some
yeah,
forgiveness to others, and stop seeking perfection in what was never created to be perfect. Um,
absolutely.
you
That
know,
was a big
um,
theme for me yesterday. I was
mhm,
counseling with a family, and forgiveness is at the heart of their healing if they get there.
mhm.
That's a big. I told them that's a big word, but you can only do it when you have a humble heart.
A humble heart. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us what's going on with St. Matt's. What are you guys doing over there?
Well, we are still wrestling with COVID.
Mm-hmm.
We were back in pretty good shape, and then we had an outbreak.
Mm.
We were preparing for our New Year's Eve service and our Christmas celebration, um, and it was building to a crescendo, and boom,
It hit.
we had an
Yeah, I know.
outbreak. We had an outbreak, um, and so we're kind of slowly getting back into the flow. We're still working on putting a medical clinic uh, in our facility. We think that
Okay.
um, it's the kind of church has to kind of recalibrate, and the
Yeah.
ministry that we provide today has to be different than it was before. We talk about going from charity to change, right?
Mm.
Charity is giving food and clothing. That's great, but, but that doesn't bring change, right? Because they come
Right.
back the next week for
Next week, they
the
still need more
food,
food.
right? Yeah, and so that doesn't do it. And so when we talk about going from charity to change, we're talking about going from that kind of charity ministry to impactful ministry that
Right.
impacts and has a lasting effect. And down there, and particularly in our community, healthcare is one of the things we definitely need.
Yeah. I'm losing you a little bit, Bishop. I'm losing you. I lost you for a second there. Can you hear me? Give us 1 second, Bishop, as we figure out these technical difficulties. I keep reminding our audience that this is really truly part of our future as we navigate, our technology sometimes, and I ask you guys, this is a great opportunity to extend Heart City a little bit grace. I think I hear him. There we go. I think I hear you, Bishop. You can't hear me. I can hear you. I can hear you. No sound. Okay. Well, I want to thank Bishop Avinger for coming onto the show today. It is always a pleasure when we get to receive his wisdom, his thoughts. He is always a prayer warrior for the people of Philadelphia and all over the world. We are blessed to call him our pastor. Um, and I'm grateful for the time that he spent with us. Up next, we have, listen, Philly's own, the real Wonder Woman. The real Wonder Woman. Oh, and Miss Lucinda, there you go. Hi, beautiful. How are you today?
I'm great. I'm great. I'm blessed to
Highly
be
favored.
alive.
I'm so excited to have you on the show today. When I look at your bio, it is very simple. You're a woman that dedicated her life to young people and young adults. It's very simple but powerful. And I mean, it's a short sentence, but it's a big task. It is a very big task.
It
How
is.
did you become Philly's real super Wonder Woman, not Superwoman, excuse me, Wonder Woman?
Well, it's a short story. I actually was casted in a film by
Okay.
Anthony Reed Jr. to play Wonder Woman.
Okay.
And I was excited because I don't know about you, but most of us when we were younger, we wanted to be superheroes. Every time
Yes.
you saw a superhero, you wanted to be
Yes.
that superhero.
I want to be Shira.
See, you wanted to be Shira. I always wanted to be Wonder Woman, probably because I'm tall and whatever. But
Yeah.
anyway, when he casted me for that film, I was already working with young people,
Hmm.
and I went to one of their houses, and they had like 5 or 6 siblings, and so they watched the film, and they was like, "Oh, mom, look, it's Wonder Woman, it's Wonder Woman." I'm all like, "What are they
Yes.
talking about?" So she said, "Oh, we saw the film that you were in called Trick No Treat, and you played Wonder Woman." So they was every time I come now, they Wonder Woman. So I have a friend, his name is Captain. He was like, "Listen, why don't we just call you Philly Wonder Woman?"
Hmm.
And I was like, I don't know about that. He was like, "No, seriously, because you work with the children, and what do you think Wonder Woman really do?" I said, "Save people." He was like, "Yeah, but you like kids, so yours is saving young people, as
Right.
much as you can." So it stuck with me, Philly Wonder Woman.
And I love that. And I'm gonna be honest, because I'm a youth minister. Um, and you can't work with babies, with children without working with young adults, because eventually they become young adults and they
Yes,
still need that kind of support that we
yes.
gave them. So it involves the work that you do. You think you come into it saying, listen, I deal with elementary school kids. And then next thing you know, you got a bunch of college and young adults, 25, calling you like, I need some advice. And you're like, how did I
Exactly.
get here?
Right.
So
Yeah, that's true.
truly grateful, truly grateful. So you have an amazing social media presence, especially on Instagram. You do great, you give great content, and
Thank you.
you're very welcome. So tell us a little bit about that acting background that you have and how it just oozes off the camera.
Well, listen. To be honest, I started acting when I was a child.
Hmm.
My aunt, she was big in the industry, and she had got everybody in the family. You had to be an actor. You had to. Period.
Okay.
You had to model and you had to act. So
Okay.
I really couldn't model. I mean, I would try and do it, but I was clumsy and whatever. So she
Hmm.
was like, "Well, I need you to act." So I act a little bit, but I had a cousin who actually was in Richard Pryor with Richard Pryor and Cicely Tyson. She I can't think of the name of the film. She played the little girl who kept saying her teddy bear had to go to the bathroom. It was on like a
Okay.
bus or whatever. So I'm like, "Oh, I want to do that. I want to do that." So a little bit later, well, a lot of years later, I had told my mom I wanted to be an actress, and she's like, "Oh, okay." Well, back then nobody really was thinking about me really being an actress. So when I started going to church, we had a drama ministry. So in the drama
Okay.
ministry, they asked me to be in the play.
Hmm.
Well, baby, that was the that was so exciting to be on stage and make people laugh or bring people to the Lord, because the whole concept was to bring people to the Lord.
Yes.
So it always had a meaning at the end, but it was kind of funny in between. And I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed doing that. And just seeing how people, was like, "Wow, you really did good." Because I'm actually shy. People don't know that. I'm actually shy
Hmm.
unless I get to know you. So I don't really, being on stage, I have to be another person. I can't be me. Period. I have to be another person at all times.
Yeah.
So I actually started going to I Can Act with Nakia Dillard, and he had lots of coaches there, and they would just tell me, all you got to do is believe in yourself. Now, see, now we transitioning from stages to film.
Right.
Well, that's a whole different ball game, because on stages you got to scream, so people can hear it project. I'm sorry. But on a movie screen, you get to talk regular because you got the mic. So I had to learn the difference between that. I mean, I've enjoyed myself. I did a movie with Vivica Fox, which was amazing. I just did one with Terrence Takeem. He just did a film. I'm in that one. So I've done about maybe 10 films.
That's
and then I wrote my own.
I love that. That little girl dream. I'm gonna share a little bit about myself. I was the little girl that absolutely loved Oprah Winfrey.
Okay.
I absolutely loved Oprah Winfrey. And, my grandmother lived in West Philly, and she had that wall full of mirrors.
Okay.
And so you come down the steps, and there's a wall full of mirrors right there, and you stick under that step, and you just do everything right there in the mirror. And you couldn't tell me that Oprah Winfrey wasn't the greatest thing to hit television.
I got you. Mine was Janet Jackson. I was Janet Jackson when I was younger.
See, there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Rhythm Nation or Good Times, Janet? Which one?
The one that jumped over Pleasure Principle. The one when she jumped over the chair. Okay, I tried to do that. I tried to do that. Didn't work out, but I tried.
You did say you were clumsy a little earlier, so I get it. I can picture it. It's in my head now. We'll leave it there. So you have something amazing coming up, or not even coming up, that you're really deep down in the midst of. You're the executive producer of Surviving Philly.
Yes.
Music is my life.
Yes.
And it's a reality TV show that you guys are going to be doing. And I just think that's powerful. Tell us a little bit about what Surviving Philly is going to bring to the air for us.
So if you think about it, we're all right now trying to survive in Philly, right? There's so many things going on. We're losing so many loved ones. We're losing so many young people out here in the street. And if you think about it, most of the young people are entertainers. So they want to be rappers. They want to be singers. They want to, play an instrument. But it's so much stuff pulling them into the street that they're not doing what their goal is. So I believe that every child, every young person, every person born is born with a gift. But you got to tap into it so that they'll know and bring it out so they know what their gift is. Right. I mean, I have 2 daughters right now that are extremely talented. One of them rap, one of them sing, but they don't really want to do it. So I do it with other people. Yeah. So, I mean, what else can I do?
Our babies never follow what we want them to do.
No, they don't. And then I realized I didn't listen to my mom. I didn't follow what she wanted me to be a doctor. So, hey,
look at you.
Right.
Philly's real Wonder Woman.
Right, exactly. But Novi Johnson, she actually created Surviving Philly. Okay. And we were talking, we were texting each other, and she was telling me about the reality show. And she said, "Do you want to be a part of it?" So I thought she wanted me to be in the reality show. I'm like, oh, okay, yes. No, she was like, "No, I want you to be the executive producer." I'm like, oh, okay. Don't that mean you have to have money?
I work with kids.
Right. I don't know about that part. Exactly. But next guess nothing. Okay. So what I did was I said, okay. So I'm like, well, I need to contact my best friend / PR / manager, which is Antoine Johnson. I don't know if you guys know who Antoine Johnson is, but he is the best out here. He does everything for like celebrities.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I'm a Philly celebrity, so you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So he works with so many different people. So I contacted him, and he has a reality show that's on TV right now, Ming Leon, Top 10. So we contacted him, and he said, all right, let me see what I can do. So with that being said, now we're pushing forward, and we have artists 18 and older. Okay. So it was a capped age, 18 to like 30, I think. Okay. And then we talked about it, and it's 18 to 100. If you're 100 years old and you do music, you could do. My favorite music is country, so I really want a country artist. I really want a country artist. I don't know where to find one at, but they have to be from Philly. All the artists have to be from Philly. Okay,
because I was about to say, because I'm based in North Carolina, I might be able to find you a country artist.
I'm popping in my veneers real quick. You know what I mean?
No problem.
You care?
Yes.
I just did a commercial for them, so I try to put them in as much as possible.
Okay.
All
And
right.
I've seen you do that on your IG. I'm like,
Yeah.
this as, and I think that is so, and that's why the real part of your name
Right.
is so important to me. It's
Mhm.
important to even say, like, you're not just Philly's Wonder Woman, but you're the real Wonder Woman. And, you know, in our community, real has to look like something we can connect with.
Right.
You know, I know we get pulled down into this IG sense of glamour and fame, but we connect when people do humorous things.
Right.
We connect
Exactly.
when we have family members. You know, I still have this picture of my son playing with my mom's teeth, you know, when he was a
Right.
baby, you know, so those things stick with us. And so thank you for popping in your veneers. I love it. I love it. Um, tell us, how can your audience or our audience
Right.
connect with Surviving Philly, especially if they are blessed with a gift of music and
Exactly.
what that looks like for them?
So basically, all they have to do is go to survivingphillytv.com.
Mm-hmm.
There is a registration fee
Okay.
of $65 plus $5.95 for the fee for Eventbrite. I
Okay.
want to put that out there. So, you know, 65 plus the 5.95.
So that's 70.95 people.
There you go. Then you pick your audition date. So we
Okay.
have the whole month of February where you can pick a date to audition.
Right.
So the auditions are going to be on Zoom first.
Okay.
And then we go to the next level after that.
Okay. So people, it is not that challenging. Listen, the real Wonder Woman from Philly is still serving young people. And she's extended it, right? She's not saying, she's saying not only if you are in age young, but if you have a young person's heart and musical talent, you are welcome to audition for Surviving Philly.
Philly TV.
Music is my heart.
And we're going to be on channel 57. So y'all need to jump on it.
Jump on it. So this is not just, you know, some small production. She's already got it lined up. You will get great exposure. Live out your dreams. She lived out hers. I mean, this is beautiful. I'm living mine. You know, I'm just so grateful that you took the time to come out today and spend some time with me here on Heart City. You know, you are always family. This is always your home. So please don't hesitate to say, hey, Kendall, can I come visit my home with you? I would love to have you back. We definitely have to bring you back once you've booked your cast.
Okay.
You know, maybe we'll do something great around that.
That'll be good because they can't curse. That's another thing. Oh, I forgot to tell y'all can join, pick your audition date, and remember the qualifications is you cannot curse whatsoever.
Listen, she just made this a family show.
Right.
So I can actually tune in with my son and my daughter and make sure that they're not going to walk away, say something when they get to school that's going to embarrass me, because you know that's where they let it loose at. They get to school and they let it loose.
Exactly.
Like, my baby would never, and they run back that tape and you be like, okay.
Exactly.
You cannot curse. Guys, you want to go to their website. Heart City is going to put it up on our Facebook feed.
Oh, wow.
And our Instagram feed, so that if you want to connect with this amazing production and be put in to go ahead and register for an audition, remember, $70 is not a great it's not a big investment. Correct. In your future. It really, really isn't. And if you truly believe in your gifts, you can do that. Guys, that is just 7 visits to McDonald's. 7 visits to McDonald's, right? About 3 or 4 visits to Chipotle. Y'all can do this.
There you go. You must love food, girl. You didn't mention food twice.
Because it's that time of the day, sis. It's that time of the day. So we're going to go ahead and pay some bills. But I thank you again for your time, for coming and sharing. And thank you for loving on our young people and those young adults. Heart City family, support Philly's real Wonder Woman. She is doing some amazing work. So when you see her, let's go ahead and support her work.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to pay some bills. And on the other side, we have the trade trap. You don't want to miss this episode. This is really where we're going to put in the work and learn about how we can create generational wealth for us and our communities and our family. See you on the other side.
How's those fries you've been craving? I'm hot and I'm steamy. And oh man, do I smell delicious. I'm calling your name. Oh, Doug. Doug. And if you don't have the right auto insurance coverage, paying for these repairs may be tough to swallow.
Get Allstate and be better protected from mayhem for a whole lot less.
You ready to see what $2.5 trillion in spending power can really do? You ready to pool these resources and rebuild our infrastructure?
You ready to support your sisters and brothers that are building businesses at record rates?
This what trust looks like, what love looks like, what us looks like, yeah.
You ready to give back to the culture that's given you so much? You ready to continue the legacy of Black economic excellence? You ready to work hard and play harder? You ready to let the black dollar circulate?
This what trust looks like, what love looks like, what us looks like, yeah. New type of leveling, new type of excellence.
You ready for a banking platform designed for us to win?
¿Estás listo para unirte en nuestra colección de soñadores?
You ready for this marathon to continue? You ready to bet on black for real? Then get ready for Greenwood.
New type of leveling, new type of excellence.
This is our time.
Sometimes we have such great commercials. I find myself bobbing my head in the backstage as the commercials are playing. We're back. This is HeartCity TV, sponsored by Deshuri, 100% hemp CBD products. To learn more about Deshuri, check out their website at mydeshuri.com. Partners with Nice, WHYY's Nice. Our next guest, Zakiem Collier. This man has some powerful knowledge that he is going to drop on us today, and I'm truly excited. He is the co-owner of the Trade Track. He's an investor, designer, entrepreneur. Yes, he went and got his bachelor's degree from SUNY Brockport in business. He has been in corporate tech sales since 2008 to last year, 2021, with millions of revenue sold and lots of awards behind him, guys. He is the owner of the Collier Company, which was established in 2018, the co-owner of More Apparel, established in 2019, and now the co-owner of the Trade Track, established in 2021. Guys, HeartCity family, welcome, Zakiem. How are you, sir?
I'm very well. I was looking around to see who you were talking about. That was
I was talking about you. I was talking about you. That is you, sir. I know we are all so humble, and to us, it's just the grind. We're just doing what we're supposed to be doing. But sometimes you got to sit down and just receive that accolades, receive what God put in you so that can come out, and that was you. That was all you. I didn't make that up.
Thank you. I'm very honored to come back and be a guest again on the show. I love the program. Shout out to you and Malik and everyone behind the scenes making things happen in HeartCity. And shout out to Philly and Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, all you guys down there. I'm from New York, but I have family and I'm always down south anyway. So big shout out to you guys making it happen down there.
Yeah, it's important. See, HeartCity began in Philadelphia, but we really want to touch the hearts of all Black and brown people across our beautiful country. The fact of the matter is we are all really one large community that just live in different cities.
Absolutely.
So every time we get on air, it's like a family reunion over here. You know,
Absolutely.
what part of the family is here. So welcome home.
Thank
Welcome
you.
home to Heart City. Grateful to have you back. You know, you are a talented brother. You're a
Thank you.
talented brother. So the last time we had you on, we were talking about Nas X and his sneaker modification and the impact of that.
Yep.
But this time we're going to really talk about something that, for me, I feel like we should have more dialogue about, both in our homes, but in our social circles, and, you know, just everywhere. And I think we, as a community of Black and brown people, sometimes shy away from it, you know, and it's that conversation about generational wealth. And there is some new, and it's not really new, it's just kind of becoming new because people can see it everywhere, right? It's this
Absolutely.
new world. And I want you to break it down a little bit for us today. So if you don't mind, I'm ready to jump in. You ready?
We'll do. So I'm very happy about this topic. This is something that I've been very passionate about for the past few years. In my 20s, I kind of dabbled. I had a stock portfolio. It was mostly position trades. So what that means is I wasn't day trading or doing much research. I would just pick the companies I was a consumer of that I wanted to be an owner of.
Okay.
And that's where I started my portfolio. So if you're new, looking to start to build your generational wealth, and you don't know where to start with what's in your home. Make yourself an owner of what you're purchasing anyways, because you obviously believe in it because you're purchasing it, right? But just to build a little further, I've gotten so deep into the weeds about this. I've been researching how to fix your credit and use that day to day to really just move very differently. A lot of things that we weren't taught at all coming up. Foreign exchange market. I've been investing. I day trade in the foreign exchange market. I love FOREX. NAS 100, the NASDAQ top 100 stocks. That's every single morning, Monday through Friday. I am at the opening bell, and I'm catching my pips, which are movements in the market, every Monday through Friday. No matter what, I make sure that I get my reps in. What else? NFTs, cryptocurrency. Just
listen, we're going to talk about those two things today. Yeah, we're going to talk about those two today.
Yeah, there's just so many things happening right now. And I think right now we're blessed because we all have access to the internet, and we are alive during a time where they're creating currency. So imagine, we always look back and say, I wish I was around when the dollar was created or when gold was created or things like that. Well, gold wasn't created. It was created with the earth. But
but when we found it.
Exactly. And now we're at a time where we have access to the computer, which holds this digital currency, and we're alive while they're creating currency.
Use your phone.
Yes. So whether you have a phone, a laptop, your TV, whatever it is, please tap in, invest a little bit, whatever you can afford. It doesn't have to, just because Bitcoin is $43,000 doesn't mean you have to have $43,000 just to start investing. You can invest partially into Bitcoin. So if you can afford $100 a month, start with $100 a month, but just make sure you're on top of it, because it's going to, I think personally, Bitcoin is going to reach 100,000. And then as our kids get older, I have a 9-year-old all the way down to a 1-year-old. I think Bitcoin will be close to $1 million by the time they're grown. So now is the time. Let's get in on the ground floor and let's really create some generational wealth.
So you brought up a lot of different things, just even in your intro of what you do. You know, this is a topic that is always happening in my household. So I also have a 9-year-old. I have a 14 and a 9-year-old. And the 14-year-old does it willingly, and she's very much, about her investing and so forth. We use green light for them to be able to do some investing of their own. But that 9-year-old, he is into it. He is soaking it up. And it's just very, it is so refreshing to sit on the couch and see your child over on their iPad. And when you ask them, what are they doing? Well, I'm looking into this company because I think that's where I want my investment to go this week.
amazing.
You know,
That's so
and
dope.
that's a great conversation. But then when you sit with your parents and they don't understand. So why don't you just take a second and explain to our audience what exactly is Forex? Because I know what it is, but I know so many people don't understand what that acronym stands for.
Absolutely. So Forex is just a short name for the foreign exchange market, foreign exchange. It's something that we really need to know about, because whether you know it or not, if you have a bank account and you have a debit card and you signed up for that debit card, you trade foreign exchange anyway, because the bank, what you're signing when you get your debit card, you're saying that the bank is allowed to now take your savings and whatever money you have sitting in there, and they invest our money in the foreign exchange market every single day. The foreign exchange market is basically us trading the strength of one currency versus the strength of another one. So, for instance, this morning I took a trade where the US dollar was going, well, I didn't take the trade. I'm looking at a trade that's about to happen. The US dollar versus the strength of the Canadian dollar. And really, as one goes up and the other one goes down, you're either buying or selling. So it's very similar to, the stock market.
Right.
But in the foreign exchange market, there's over $7 trillion exchanged and circulated every single day. Whereas in the stock market, only 4 billion. And not to say only, but would you rather have 4 billion worth of power or 7 trillion worth of power every single day? You know?
So we think that, you know, the New York Stock Exchange is really the all powerful, but in reality, it's Forex. It's this foreign exchange that really is where the power of our passive income, and for some active income, can really grow when we take the time to learn and invest in it. So not just
I'm glad you mentioned those two phrases, active income and passive income. It's also something we're not really taught about in school. When it's never given a label, I should say, because we are taught to be workers for the most part. We're taught to get a bank account, get a savings account, get your debit card, which you should, if you have a debit card, cut it up. And I'll build on that later. Get your debit card and use your credit card for emergencies only. But in reality, all of the 1%ers, they're not, and all of the millionaires and billionaires of today, they don't have debit cards. They're using credit. They're using, they're getting the rewards and the benefits from spending their dollars, and then getting a benefit from spending their dollars. So credit is a whole different game, to where it's kind of like they reward you for spending your money. Right. And if you just swipe your debit card, it's just a dead purchase. You spent your dollar. Let's say you went to the store, you got $1 worth of gas. You spent your dollar, you drive away, nothing happens. But the same thing, if I have a card that gives me 5% cash back just for running my transaction through them, now I got my gas and I got 5% of what I paid for that gas as well. So when credit, please,
so you're saying the opposite of what we've been learning. You're actually saying the opposite of what we've been learning. We've been taught that debit is our cash, only spend your cash. And in reality, you're saying you can get more for your cash when you do it through credit.
Absolutely. But also treat the credit card like a debit card. And what I mean by that is, when you swipe to shop, make sure you move that money from your bank account directly to fund that swipe. Because if you don't have the cash, then don't put it on your credit card.
So if you have $200 to spend in your bank account,
yes,
you only spend $200 on your credit card.
Absolutely.
And then you move that $200 from your bank account right onto the credit card. Because when you do that, now you spent your $200, but you're going to get 5% back on that.
Depending on your card and your limit, 1 to 5% back you can get.
Depending on your credit score. So the reality is, if you have a great credit score, you're going to have that higher return.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And if you have the right card and you're doing your research, credit is a game that is not very well explained to us, but it's kind of like a hobby where you learn about the promotions. Like, let's say you collect sneakers. You see my background. I love sneakers, right? So let's say you collect sneakers. You look up the price of the sneakers, when they're coming out, what if any stores have a promotion to get them early, anything like that, right? There are people out there that are the same with credit. And they'll look at, okay, so this year, these are the top 5 cards to get for, and there's different buckets, if you will. So if you're a traveler, there's cards that speak to travel and where you can really get your return and fly first class just off the points alone from doing your daily spends. Hotels, Uber, cash back, I mentioned, free gas. There's so many rewards out there just for spending your money that it would be silly to just spend your money and get nothing back.
But at the same time, it sounds like if you do your research, then you don't end up with a card for hotels if you're not going to travel. You get one that's going to give you cash back or maybe a reward in another area that you're going to actually use.
Exactly. And it could be anything. Like there's so many cards that now you shop through them and you get a discount through them. There's so many things out there now. So there's literally something for everyone. The only thing I say is come to the plate with a 720 to 750 credit score. And, you know, there's credit. If you're not there and you're working to get there, there's plenty of credit fixing companies out there. A lot of them are brown like us. So, you know, you can still keep our dollars circulating within our community and fix your credit score at the same time.
That's wonderful. So I don't want to lose the opportunity to share with our audience about cryptocurrency. Okay. I spent some time being quiet at home this summer, and my family have been crypto investors for some time now. And my father visited us. Papa Victor was down here in North Carolina, right? And he was down here and he wanted to know more. Like, what is this Bitcoin, Kendall, that you guys are doing? Because like, that's what I was buying stuff with. I had the card that translated over into cash and that's what I swiped, you know? And so he wanted to know more. So I know Papa Goldsberry is watching. Break down what crypto.
I love you, man. I love you. That's a legend right there.
Break down for all of our audience. What is cryptocurrency? And is it real? Can they really do something with cryptocurrency?
Cryptocurrency is very real. Cryptocurrency is happening around you right now. Keep your eyes open. Maybe you'll see a crypto ATM in your city. Like they're starting to pop up now. There are several merchants that accept crypto as their payment. I think one of the first ones to lead it off was Tesla. They started accepting certain forms of cryptos, and you can buy your car with the crypto. A few other the big players started to follow suit, and now it's to the point where even if you start your own business, I know brothers that have their own business that just started a few years ago, and they accept crypto through for their services and for their goods. So
listen, bro, let me tell you, there is a gentleman that has a funnel cake truck and comes to my neighborhood every other Friday for Food Truck Friday, and he accepts Bitcoin.
That's my guy right there.
And he is a brown owner, and I am just so proud of him every single time I see him in that parking lot. I'm gonna go buy a $5.
That's dope. That is
funnel cake, just because of that.
But yeah, just to kind of dive in, cryptocurrency is digital currency, right? And I know this seems kind of, if you're not used to that, used to spending dollars or paper, that was all a farce, right? Because on the American dollar, right, only 4% of the actual wealth is real money. The rest is all pressing buttons and counting computers and things. So we've been dealing with crypto pretty much our whole lives, but they had that paper money to kind of to make it real, to make it tangible. So what they did was they have this network called the blockchain, which basically keeps record of every single thing that takes place. So if you send me one penny, it's on the blockchain on a server. And there are companies that have that house these servers that protect all this information, and they go back and confirm and say, yes, Kendall, she's official. She really did send him $1 worth of Bitcoin on whatever the date was, January 6th, right? So it's basically keeping track of all this money and not needing a bank to do it because now we have technology. So
I was about to say, so it's kind of replacing the bank's records that we rely so much on into this digital world that we've been telling people is keeping track of a lot for us, right? Well, why not use it to keep track of something that's really important for us, our finances, our money, our wealth?
Exactly. So basically they house those. So there's two types of crypto. There are tokens and there are coins. Now, Bitcoin is a coin because it's built on its own platform, it's built on its own blockchain. Ethereum is also built on its own blockchain, and there's a whole bunch. There's a whole list. Actually, if you guys go to, if you don't know what it is and you want to learn more, you can go to coinmarketcap.com.
Okay.
And it lists all of the tokens and the coins for you.
Okay.
So just to get back to the difference between a token and a coin has its own blockchain, has its own infrastructure. It doesn't operate on any other platform. Whereas a token, like I don't know if anyone's familiar with Shiba Coin, which was the highest moving crypto in 2021, which I made some good money off of last year.
Good job.
That's considered a token because it feeds off of the Ethereum blockchain. So you can either, there's already these tokens these coins that are in place. You can make your own if you want. You can have the Kendall crypto, right? You can build it off of an existing coin that's already there off of that blockchain.
Listen, guys, when you see the Kendall coin, just go ahead and invest in it. I mean,
there you go.
I'm for it. I'm all for it.
There you go. You can accept donations on your show with the Kendall coin.
And I love it. I love it. I hope Mr. Boyd and the rest of the Heart City team is taking all that in and processing it because, listen, it's happening. Okay.
Yes.
Now, what is an NFT?
All right. So an NFT, that stands for non-fungible token. And basically that is digital art or digital picture. It's the same thing as a token, right? Because what we're doing is, let's say you take a picture of your favorite art and you make it an NFT. That blockchain is keeping track that you have the original. You don't have a copy. You have the original. And that way, the same way that art goes up and down in value because you have that original, it's the same thing with non-fungible tokens or NFTs. The blockchain keeps track of them. There are certain ones that come with certain benefits, like Bored Ape is like the number one, I would say, NFT out there. They give you access to yacht parties and like all these, they send you expensive watches, all this good stuff, right?
Wow. Okay.
But there's so many different ones that have different benefits. And again, it's crypto, but in an art form, if you're more on the artsy side.
So we, you have the original painting that, I don't know, Zakiem Collier painted for us or more apparel. And I have the only sweatshirt in this design and everybody wants it. Absolutely. I can take a picture of it. Mm-hmm. I can load it up and more apparel gave it value. And I guess a bunch of other people gave it value. And I can say you can have a little piece of this value.
No, what happens is they're the owner. They're the sole owner. So you sell it. So once you put it up for auction, it's kind of like eBay. You put it up, everyone bids on it. You can actually just have a buy it now price where this is the price and the first one to get it, until they're gone. Or you can make it to where everyone bids and whoever's willing to, the people really decide how much it's worth. And
wow.
Yeah, the winner keeps that token. But the cool thing about NFTs is when you create them, you could set it up with royalties. So every time when you sold it, you get a piece. Now, if that next person wants to sell it, you get a piece of that sale, and so on and so on.
So it's another form of passive income because I'm not really doing anything.
Correct. You're not even doing anything. You put in your work. What I love about passive income is hard to get started, right? Like trading. I put in so many hours a week. I put in at least 2 hours a day, 5 days a week. So that's 10 hours a week. And I've been doing this since July. Well, March, I got into trading. July, I really started focusing on like how to analyze charts and data analytics, things like that. And since then, I've been putting in 10 hours a week. So that's a lot up front. But once I get to this stride where like my mentor who's making $30,000 a day in the market and $40,000 and $50,000 and $60,000 in a day in less than an hour.
Yeah.
Like I have to let that process because
it's falling on me.
That is a salary. I know people. I have shaken hands with people this year that are under 30 that are making a salary in one morning in less than an hour every day, right? And it just blows my mind. I love the space I'm in. I love being obsessed with financial literacy and trying to get my family financially free. So that, and it's not about a dollar amount. One thing I want to make clear, because a lot of people, you know, they always mention greed when you mention trading. And my reason for trading, I just want to be with my family 24/7, right?
Yeah.
I want to be able to take my whole family on vacation. I have a big family in my house, my immediate family alone. We have 4 children and my wife, so that's 6 of us, right? So that's a couple of thousand right there just to get to the location.
Right.
So I want to be able to bring all of them, have them do their homeschool on the computers from whatever island or country we're in. The money is still coming in. I could fly my mom and my dad and my sister and everyone out.
Right.
And everyone's taken care of. And that's the real reason for me. That's my motivation for wanting to be financially free. It's not to say I'm a millionaire or 100 millionaire or anything like that. It's really about freedom.
So we talked a lot about, you know, the benefits of this, not new, but really becoming accessible to the world and this new wave of people joining in. But what are some of the risks? I mean, I think you have to, you know, talk to people about what are some of the risks. What are they going to could possibly lose in doing
Absolutely. This? I mean, there's risk in everything we mentioned, right? I mean, there's even risk at the end of the day. There's risk to step out of your house every day, right?
Especially
but when it comes to investing, you have to risk your finances in order to make them work for you, right? If you don't have any money being invested, what you have is a consumer mindset. Mm-hmm. And what that's going to do is lead you down a dark path of being a consumer for your life. Mm-hmm. Unless somewhere along your mindset changes, and then passing that worker's mentality down to your children.
Right.
So we have people like to say slavery is dead, but if you really think about what we're doing, we're exchanging 40 to 60 to some people go crazy, 70, 80 hours of our weeks.
Right.
Then get 2 days off with our family. And we're working so hard for our families that we're not even with our families.
Right.
So now we have all these opportunities to risk our income, put our income to work for us so that we have this passive income, and then we can be, and on top of that, we can have several streams of revenue, right? So right now, if you're not, your ends aren't meeting, you go get another job. Now, okay, you're 70 to 80 hours a week out of your house, right?
Right.
But that's with active income. But with passive income, you can have a MOR apparel, you can have a Collier company, you can have Trade Trap, you can also trade for yourself. So that's 4 streams of revenue I have coming in. And then my stock portfolio, that's 5 streams of revenue coming in. I then, when something wins, I'll take a piece of it out, go look at some real estate, which then creates more passive income. And that can be a whole nother episode, because real estate is just, Airbnb just makes the game amazing these days.
It changes the game.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So Purple Vegan Mama said you have to risk. That's right. I know she's special to you. You have to risk your finances in order to make them work for you. Absolutely. And we have to risk a lot to make our future make sense and be amazing for us, right? So I think it's very important that everyone understands that the title of today's show was not by accident. You know, it's the way of the future. And so many times our community or members of our community, we're left behind because we're scared to take a risk.
Absolutely.
We're scared to take a risk. We don't trust the source of the information. Trust me, Zakiem did not grow up with a silver spoon in his mouth, but he understands how to take that information and research it. And now he's sharing it with us. And he has a organization, a company that is willing to help you along the way as well. So talk just about a minute about Trade Trap.
Trade Trap's amazing. So Trade Trap started in March, right? And I met my mentor, shout out to Jasmine Tavares, right? I met her back in March, and she's so on fire and passionate about Forex and just teaching and educating people. And I caught on fire when I met her, right?
Right.
So I just said, this is great information. I was upset that I didn't know this information, and it took me 36 years to get introduced to this information.
Right.
And that just put me in hyperdrive to just put all my focus, all my energy into learning this information and then to educating other people about this information. So ever since March, I've been, I partnered up. She's the other owner of Trade Trap.
Wonderful.
And what we've done is we put together this program to break down trading and foreign and financial literacy within the foreign exchange market, and NFTs and the metaverse and all that good stuff. We want to break it down so that a third grade level can understand it, because we want our brown people and our tan people to. It's time for us to catch up. That's the bottom line. It's time for us to get our equity. It's time for us to stop working for other people's dreams and start putting our dreams to the forefront. Every time I see, for 2021, I was wearing all black, all brown owned companies. I'm heavy into fashion. I'm a designer as well. So
you got lots of sneakers.
Absolutely. You see behind me. So shout out to Saya somewhere in America. He's a brown brother that created this company. And then the other box you can't see, shout out to Cool Kai as well. But there's so many of us popping up with our own businesses and supporting our own dreams, and just seeing that and being around that type of energy just put me on fire. Also, shout out to VOH Basketball and Brett Bronson, who's the commissioner of that league and the owner of that league, the founder. Another man who I've known since elementary school, who just put me on fire for my own dreams and to kind of get out of that 9-to-5 loop, which there's nothing wrong with it, people. If you work, keep working. If that's for you, keep working. But what I do encourage you to do is just take some of those funds and move them over to investing, something that's going to move them over to some sort of passive income so that your money can work for you and you can be in more than one place earning at once.
So can Trade Trap help an individual? Say, I love my job. I know, there's more out there for me, but I do absolutely love this 9-to-5 as a social worker, serving children. I want to continue to do that, but I would love for some of my money to work for me. Can Trade Trap help them do that?
Oh, absolutely. That's really what it's for. So there are a lot of, pretty much 90% of the people in our group are still working 9-to-5. Even Jasmine, my business partner, she works for Delta Airlines, and even in the sky, she's sending out trade signals like, God, I'm looking at this, get in. Like, she's in that chat 24/7. So shout out
awesome.
to her. And if you go,
so how can our audience reach you guys? Can they?
That's what I was just about to say. If you're on Instagram, if you're on Facebook, just look up Trade Trap. It's all one word, nothing else. Just Trade Trap. DM us. We can definitely get you started. We'll send you a quick survey just to see what your goals are and see if you actually qualify for the group, because one thing we're not doing is, this is not a get rich quick scheme. This is not like I'm sure if you have social media, somebody's been inboxing you and saying, send 300, I'll turn it into 3,000 in a minute. It's nothing like that, right? This is where people want to educate themselves. People want to devote themselves to learning a new skill, and then you utilize that skill to change your family's lives a little bit at a time.
I can't thank you enough for taking the time today. This has been one of my easiest and quickest in my head interviews that I've had, because I can't believe we've been talking now for about 30 minutes. And I don't even know where the time went. And there's so much more for us to say.
I know. I'm looking at my notes. I'm like, man, I did like 40% of what I wanted to
That's okay, because that just means we have to have you back. We have to understand what this is, because I cannot stress enough to our audience how important it is for us to embrace what is a part of our future now and not get left behind because of our fears, because of our fear of taking a risk. And that risk can make all the changes in the world to your family, to its wealth, the wealth of your time with your children, the wealth of your time making memories, and as well as just the financial wealth that can come from all of this. And so I thank you. Audience, we are definitely going to have Zakiem back. Maybe we can get his partner in, Jasmine. We've heard a lot about you. Looking forward to meeting you as well. But I think it's safe to say by the comments that were in our feed that people are excited and on fire. Jessica Edgerton said, come through with that knowledge. And it truly was knowledge today. And so I thank you for that. Family. support the trade trap. If you are interested in not, listen, he said it best. It's not a quick get rich quick scheme. It is an opportunity to learn how to do something new and how to create more for your family, for yourself. You know, the ways that we used to do it is not the same. We're not going to just have saving accounts at the big banks anymore. We're going to do things differently. And so the same way it took you 10 years to get on Facebook, we don't want it to take 10 years for you to get into this, right? We want you to do this now, and he has the resources to help you do it. I thank you so very much for coming and joining us today. Thank you.
And before I go, one more time, please follow VOH Basketball. Please follow MOR Apparel on any social media. Please follow Purple Vegan Mama, and please follow Trade Trap. So, thank you to everybody that supports us. We love you, and we are looking to do anything we can for the community. So we love you guys. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Listen, guys, we got a powerful show today. We had some of the best guests, and I had such a great time with them today. Thank you, Philly's real Wonder Woman, for coming in and just dropping that gem about following your dreams from childhood to now and how you translate that importance to others. We're going to support Surviving Philly. Music is my heart. Listen, we're going to post how you can go ahead and audition, register. But even still, if you don't have a musical bone in your body like I don't, I cannot sing, I cannot keep a tune, I'm not going to go out there. I promise y'all I'm not going to do it. But I am going to watch the show. So we're going to support her. Bishop Avinger, always a pleasure to have you in our presence. Thank you for your spiritual wisdom, your guidance. We are so grateful. And of course, Zakiem Collier, co-founder and co-owner of Trade Trap. You dropped some gems today, and it is clear that our audience wants to hear more. They are excited about what you are sharing today. And guys, that was the point of today, understanding that there is more to our future. It is the way forward, the way of the future. We thank you for tuning in today. We thank you for joining us as always. We continue to be gracious of your prayers, of your love and continued support. We dropped a statement this week, and we've been just overflowing with support and love and comments, supporting our team. We are HeartCity TV. I'm your host, Kendall Chase. Like, subscribe, comment, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. We need your continued support. You guys go forth and do great things.